A shocking new controversy involving the Duggar family is now creating major headlines after reports claimed Josh Duggar is accusing his mother, Michelle Duggar, of playing a role in the events surrounding his child pornography conviction. The explosive accusation has immediately sparked intense reactions online, with many people stunned by the idea that internal family tensions may now be reaching an entirely new level. For years, the Duggar family publicly presented themselves as deeply united through faith, conservative values, and strong family loyalty. Even during past controversies, Michelle and Jim Bob Duggar often appeared determined to protect the family image while standing together publicly. But according to growing reports and speculation surrounding Josh's latest claims, that united front may now be completely breaking apart behind closed doors. The Duggar family originally rose to national fame through reality television shows centered around their unusually large family and religious lifestyle. Millions of viewers followed their lives for years, turning the family into one of the most recognizable names in reality television. However, everything changed once scandals and criminal investigations involving Josh Duggar became public. Over time, the family's carefully controlled image collapsed under legal controversy, public criticism, and devastating headlines. Since then, nearly every development connected to the Duggars has generated widespread media attention and emotional public reactions. Now, this latest accusation involving Michelle Duggar is adding another deeply personal layer to the already explosive situation. According to reports connected to the controversy, Josh allegedly believes his mother's actions or decisions somehow contributed to circumstances surrounding his conviction. While details remain heavily debated online, the mere suggestion of blame being directed toward Michelle Duggar has shocked both supporters and longtime critics of the family. Because for years, Michelle was often viewed as one of the emotional centers of the Duggar household. Known publicly for her calm personality and strong religious beliefs, Michelle frequently appeared as the nurturing figure within the family's television image. That reputation is exactly why the latest allegations are creating such dramatic reactions online. Some observers believe the accusation reflects growing frustration and emotional conflict inside the Duggar family as legal consequences and public scrutiny continue affecting their lives. Others strongly criticize Josh for allegedly attempting to redirect responsibility away from himself. That divide is fueling massive debate across social media. Critics argue that personal accountability should remain the primary focus given the seriousness of the conviction itself. Many online reactions describe the accusations toward Michelle as an attempt to shift blame rather than fully accept responsibility. At the same time, some people following the story believe years of pressure, secrecy, and family dynamics may have created complicated emotional relationships behind the scenes that outsiders never fully understood. That possibility is exactly why public interest in the story continues growing. The Duggar family's history has already been filled with painful controversies involving allegations, investigations, and accusations that dramatically changed public perception of the once popular reality television family. And now, reports suggesting Josh is accusing his own mother of contributing to his downfall are reopening emotional conversations about how the family handled problems privately for years. Some former viewers say the latest controversy feels especially disturbing because Michelle Duggar spent years publicly defending family unity and moral values during interviews and television appearances. Now, people are questioning what relationships inside the family truly look like behind closed doors. Social media reactions became intense almost immediately after the headlines started spreading online. Some users expressed sympathy for Michelle, arguing she is unfairly being pulled into another public scandal. Others believe deeper examination of family dynamics is necessary, given the history surrounding previous controversies connected to the Duggars. And many viewers simply describe the situation as tragic for everyone involved. One major reason the story is attracting so much attention is because audiences spent years emotionally invested in the Duggar family through television. People watched the children grow up, celebrated milestones with them, and believed they understood the family dynamic being shown publicly. But over time, scandal after scandal shattered that image. Now, each new accusation seems to reveal even more emotional fractures inside the family itself. And if tensions between Josh and Michelle are truly escalating publicly. As public reaction continues intensifying, many people are now asking a difficult question surrounding the latest Duggar family controversy. Why would Josh Duggar allegedly accuse his own mother of playing a role in his conviction? That question has completely dominated online discussions as audiences attempt to understand what may really be happening behind the scenes inside one of reality television's most controversial families. According to growing speculation connected to the reports, Josh may feel abandoned or isolated as legal consequences continue reshaping his life and destroying the family's public image. Some observers believe years of pressure, public humiliation, and internal family conflict could now be causing emotional fractures that are finally spilling into public view. And if that's true, the latest accusations may only be the beginning of a much larger family breakdown. For years, Michelle Duggar publicly stood beside her children during major family controversies. She frequently appeared calm and supportive during interviews, often emphasizing faith, forgiveness, and unity, even as criticism surrounding the family grew stronger. That history makes the latest allegations especially shocking for longtime viewers, because Michelle was often seen as the emotional protector of the family. Now, reports suggesting Josh is blaming her in some way are forcing audiences to reevaluate what relationships inside the Duggar household may actually look like behind closed doors. Critics online have reacted strongly against Josh's alleged accusations. Many people argue that attempting to involve Michelle shifts attention away from the seriousness of the conviction itself. Some commentators accuse Josh of refusing to fully accept accountability, while others describe the reported claims as manipulative or emotionally damaging. The backlash became intense almost immediately. At the same time, some observers believe the controversy may reflect deeper issues connected to the family's long-standing culture and internal dynamics. Over the years, critics frequently questioned how the Duggar family handled earlier scandals, especially regarding secrecy, authority, and image management. Those conversations are now resurfacing once again. Some former viewers argue the family's strict environment may have created emotional pressures that outsiders never fully understood while watching the television shows. Others strongly reject using family structure or parenting style to explain away criminal responsibility. That disagreement continues dividing public opinion online. Meanwhile, legal analysts following the broader Duggar controversies note that emotional blame shifting sometimes becomes common in families experiencing public scandal and criminal fallout. As pressure builds from legal consequences, damaged reputations, and nonstop media coverage, internal relationships can become increasingly unstable. And the Duggar family has faced enormous pressure for years now. Between criminal investigations, canceled television projects, public criticism, and fractured public trust, the family's once carefully managed image has completely transformed. Now, every new accusation only adds more tension to an already explosive situation. Another reason audiences are reacting so emotionally is because Michelle Duggar's public reputation remained relatively different from Josh's over the years. While Josh became heavily associated with scandal and legal controversy, Michelle was often viewed more sympathetically by some viewers as a mother trying to hold her family together during public collapse. That's why these latest reports feel so dramatic. Because instead of outside critics attacking Michelle, the accusations are reportedly coming from inside the family itself. Social media reactions continue flooding online platforms as fans, critics, and former viewers debate who they believe and what responsibilities different family members may hold regarding past events. Some people say they feel sympathy for Michelle being dragged into yet another devastating controversy. Others argue the parents should continue facing scrutiny regarding how earlier family problems were handled privately before becoming public scandals. And many viewers simply describe the entire situation as heartbreaking. What makes everything even more intense is the possibility that additional family tensions could eventually become public as well. If relationships inside the Duggar family are truly deteriorating under years of pressure and scandal, some observers fear more accusations and emotional conflicts may still emerge in the future. That possibility is exactly why media attention surrounding the story continues growing rapidly. Because at this point, the controversy is no longer just about one criminal conviction. It has evolved into a larger public examination of family loyalty, accountability, secrecy, faith, and emotional damage inside one of America's most famous reality television families. As the controversy surrounding Josh Duggar's reported accusations against Michelle Duggar continues spreading online, Many people now believe the Duggar family may be facing irreversible emotional damage behind closed doors. What once appeared to be one of reality television's most tightly connected families now looks increasingly divided by scandal, legal fallout, and growing public scrutiny. And for longtime viewers, watching that transformation unfold has become deeply unsettling. For years, the Duggar family carefully built an image centered around faith, discipline, and family unity. Their television success depended heavily on audiences believing they represented strong moral values and unconditional support for one another. But over time, repeated scandals completely shattered that public perception. Now, with reports suggesting Josh is blaming Michelle for playing a role in his conviction, critics say the family's internal fractures are becoming impossible to hide anymore. Many online discussions are now focusing less on television history and more on the emotional consequences these controversies may have created inside the family itself. Observers believe years of pressure, secrecy, public judgment, and legal turmoil may have permanently changed relationships between multiple family members. And if tensions continue escalating publicly, even more painful revelations could potentially emerge. At the center of the latest controversy remains a major emotional question. Is Josh Duggar genuinely expressing long-standing resentment toward his family? Or is he attempting to redirect responsibility away from himself amid overwhelming public criticism? That debate continues dominating social media conversations. Supporters of Michelle Duggar argue she has already endured years of humiliation and emotional pain as scandals connected to her family repeatedly became national headlines. Many viewers believe she is now unfairly being blamed for actions that ultimately belong to Josh alone. Some online reactions describe the latest accusations as cruel and deeply manipulative. Others, however, believe examining family dynamics remains important because the Duggar family operated under extremely strict structures and public image control for many years. Critics argue those environments can sometimes contribute to unhealthy emotional patterns behind closed doors. That perspective is fueling another wave of intense public debate. Meanwhile, legal experts and media analysts continue warning audiences against drawing final conclusions solely from emotional headlines or online speculation. They stress that public controversies often become distorted as rumors spread rapidly across social media platforms. Still, because the Duggar family remains such a recognizable public name, every new accusation immediately becomes major national conversation. And honestly, that attention shows no signs of slowing down. Another reason this story feels especially emotional for audiences is because millions of people watched Michelle Duggar for years, portraying herself as a loving mother devoted entirely to protecting and guiding her family. That public image became central to the family's success. Now, seeing her name connected to accusations from her own son creates a shocking contrast that many viewers never imagined witnessing. Some former fans say the latest developments feel almost surreal, considering how different the family once appeared during their television peak. Others argue the scandals reveal how reality television can sometimes hide painful truths beneath carefully controlled public appearances. And unfortunately for the Duggar family, those conversations are likely to continue growing louder. As media outlets keep covering the controversy, observers believe the long-term impact on the family's remaining public reputation could be devastating. The Duggar name has already become heavily associated with scandal over recent years, and internal blame between family members may only deepen public distrust even further. At the same time, some viewers still express sadness more than anger. Because beyond the headlines, accusations, and online debates, they see a family completely unraveling under years of emotional and legal pressure. And perhaps that's the most tragic part of the entire situation. What started years ago as a television story about faith and family has now transformed into a painful public collapse filled with criminal convictions, fractured relationships, and emotional accusations spreading into the open. Now, many people are left wondering one final thing. Will the Duggar family ever recover privately from the damage caused by years of scandal and controversy? Or has the emotional fallout finally reached a point where some relationships can never truly be repaired again? For now, the answers remain uncertain. But one thing is becoming increasingly clear. A shocking new controversy surrounding the Duggar family is now creating massive backlash online after reports claimed Anna Duggar appeared to suggest that Josh Duggar's possession of child sex abuse materials was somehow a victimless crime. The reaction was immediate and extremely intense. Across social media, critics, former fans, and legal commentators quickly condemned the reported statement, arguing that crimes involving child sexual abuse materials are never victimless under any circumstances. Now, the latest controversy is once again placing the Duggar family at the center of explosive public debate. According to discussions circulating online, Anna Duggar's alleged comments surfaced while conversations about Josh Duggar's conviction and the family's response to the scandal continued generating national attention. The suggestion that no direct victims existed reportedly triggered outrage because experts and advocacy groups have long emphasized the devastating harm connected to child exploitation materials. For many people, the backlash was immediate because the issue itself is extremely sensitive and emotionally charged. Critics argue that every image or video involving child sexual abuse represents real abuse committed against real children. Because of that, many online reactions describe the alleged comments as deeply disturbing and dangerously misleading. Social media platforms quickly filled with emotional responses condemning the idea. Some users expressed disbelief that anyone connected to such a high-profile case would describe the crime in those terms. Others accused Anna Duggar of continuing to defend Josh despite overwhelming public criticism and legal consequences surrounding the conviction. The controversy became even more explosive because of the Duggar family's long and complicated public history. For years, the family built a national reputation around conservative values, religion, and strong moral beliefs through reality television programs watched by millions. Michelle and Jim Bob Duggar became widely recognized public figures, while audiences followed the lives of their children across multiple television seasons. But over time, repeated scandals involving Josh Duggar dramatically changed public perception of the entire family. Now, every new statement connected to the case attracts enormous public attention. According to critics following the latest controversy, Anna Duggar's alleged comments reflect a broader pattern of minimizing or defending Josh's actions despite the seriousness of the conviction. Some observers believe years of loyalty, religious pressure, and family dynamics may influence how Anna publicly responds to the scandal. Others strongly reject that explanation entirely. They argue that no personal loyalty or belief system can justify downplaying crimes connected to child exploitation. That disagreement is now fueling intense debate online. Meanwhile, legal experts and child advocacy organizations continue emphasizing that child sexual abuse materials involve direct harm to children, both during the original abuse and through the continued circulation of those materials afterwards. That's one reason why the phrase victimless crime triggered such immediate outrage. Many people believe the wording itself ignores the suffering experienced by victims whose abuse becomes permanently recorded and repeatedly shared. The emotional backlash has been especially strong among former Duggar viewers who once supported the family during their reality television success. Some fans say they feel deeply disappointed watching members of the family continue facing controversy after controversy tied to Josh Duggar's actions. Others say the latest reports represent one of the most disturbing public responses connected to the case so far. As discussions intensified online, many people also questioned how the Duggar family continues handling the fallout privately behind closed doors. Critics argue repeated public defenses of Josh risk damaging the family's credibility even further. And honestly, for many observers, the family's public image already appears permanently changed. What once seemed like a wholesome television success story has transformed into years of scandal, criminal convictions, emotional division, and nonstop public criticism. Now, with Anna Duggar facing backlash over the alleged victimless suggestion, public anger surrounding the case is growing once again. And judging by the reactions spreading online, the controversy surrounding the Duggar family may be entering yet another explosive chapter.